Wait till I get my money right.
I had a dream.
Yo.
When I woke, I spent it on a Range Rover.
You might know this person. You might have heard the name before. You know, he got 22 Grammys, you know, really high profile celebrity, what they might say, you know, arguably one of the most iconic people in music, period. I mean, he's been considered a billionaire for a year now, officially, but possibly $6.6 billion. The man that we're talking about is none other than
Mr. Kanye West. He's taking too long. We are talking about Kanye West, guys.
The multi-genius, multi-talented Mr. Kanye West. Now, Kanye West is, you know, obviously a person not shy of controversy. You know, he says a lot of things that might ruffle a lot of feathers, but...
And that's why I love him.
Yeah. Kanye, in my personal opinion, I feel like he's the only person that is immune to being canceled.
I can admire how he just does not care what anybody says about him. And that's just something that is like really close to me. Because I really don't care what anybody says about what I believe in. Like, he thinks for himself. Right. Whether he feels as though he's right or wrong, he stands on his own 10.
Right. And it's not like he doesn't go back and look at it and be like, oh yeah, I was wrong there. Like he admittedly admits when he's wrong sometimes. You know what I mean? He understands he's human, but he's a very passionate person, a very passionate artist and stuff like that. When he went up on stage and said, you know, Beyonce had the best video of all time, Taylor Swift doesn't deserve this. What lie was he telling?
Like, the whole kill is, I remember watching that award ceremony. It was 2009. I can remember. It's the year I graduated. I'll never forget. And when Taylor was walking her ass up there, at the exact same time, in my mind, I was walking up on stage with Kanye. I was up there. So when he said that, I was like, he took the words right out of my mouth. Like, what?
But the reason why we're talking about him today is because me and Jamila are talking about the wealthiest black people in the world. And last week we spoke on Mr. Aliko Dangote, who is the wealthiest black person in the world. And he's based out of Nigeria. And today we're talking about number 2. And due to the news that Bloomberg reported, Kanye West has an estimated net worth of $6.6 billion. And with that estimated net worth, that will put him at number 2 of wealthiest black people in the world, and number 1 for wealthiest black person in America history, just beating past Mr. Robert F. Smith, who was the current holder of that. What is really shocking to me about this is because back in 2016, you guys probably remember Kanye West was in debt $53 million and asking Mark Zuckerberg and other people to invest in him. He literally tweeted to Mark Zuckerberg, hey, Mark Zuckerberg, give me $1 billion for my ideas. I'm going to help you scale this, blah, 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 blah. And a lot of people, obviously, back then thought Kanye was crazy. They was like, this man don't know what he's talking about. Like, why would anybody give you money like that, blah, blah, blah. But when you're an investor, they do those kind of things all the time. So Kanye, in his mind, is, I have an idea. I see clearly how well I'm going to scale it because he was successful off of his release for his Louis Vuitton shoes and for the Nike version of Yeezys at that time. How fast they were selling, at what cost they were selling. He already knew he could scale. Mm-hmm. He was at that barrier trying to break through because nobody black in fashion was able, there was always a ceiling. So Kanye was trying to break through that ceiling. You know, he made albums and songs about, you know, him being frustrated and being blocked off and stuff like that. But what Kanye has done, which he has done multiple times over and over and over again, is prove to not only himself but the world that he can manifest whatever he puts his mind to. When he was coming out as an artist originally, people told him that he doesn't know music. He locked himself away for 3 summers just making beats, and then he became a producer. Then he wanted to become a rapper. People told him he can't rap. You don't look the part, you know what I mean? You're wearing pink polos and a book bag. Like, you can't rap. Then he dropped College Dropout, and the game changed forever. He was able to do that. Now he is breaking into fashion. That's his new passion now.
No, that was his starting passion.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That was his starting fashion. He always wanted to be, the Louis Vuitton Don and everything like that. So,
which is just crazy how things do manifest because he's always had a passion for fashion.
Right.
That was the whole kill with the polos and the backpacks and things like that. He just had to get his foot in the door with the music. And he's just good at whatever he touches.
Yeah. He's a futurist. You know what I mean? He constantly, his body is in 2021, but his mind is in 2031. He's constantly like thinking 10 years ahead.
So will it be surprising to see Kanye for president? Or are we still reaching? Because honestly, if Trump could do it, why can't Kanye do it?
I don't want Kanye as president, but
I don't necessarily want him either, but if that's what he wants, I want it for him because you can do whatever you want to do and whatever you put your mind to.
Right, he could do it, but I think that for his mission, from what it seems like his mission statement is, which is that he wants to be, a creative leader for the world and be able to create changes to help make a better society for people, bring high fashion, bringing cost-efficient homes and cars and all those kind of things to the everyday man and woman.
You don't think he can do that as president?
No.
You don't think that he can do what Trump did? Because Trump made some changes and just do it in a black way.
I don't think the presidency has enough power to do what a lot of these other people can do outside of government regulation. I feel like the government has too much control. They're too slow. You know what I mean? Like, so for him...
Right, so I'm thinking it's not going to happen overnight, but I think that he can put things in place at the level he's at now, just like Trump.
But think about that. Okay, so Trump was in office, but he also started erasing some of the things Obama did. Now, Trump created some things. Now, Biden is erasing some of the things Trump did. So it's like, we can't go... How much further can we go if we keep taking steps back?
But
like,
are we taking steps back? Are we taking steps
We
back?
might be taking side steps, but I don't see us taking that many steps forward because how are you going to have 8 years of Obama, then Trump coming in, like trying to dismantle Obamacare, trying to do all these things.
But did he set us back? Honestly, I don't think that Trump did as bad as everybody keeps making him out. Well,
people will argue that he has created more racial tension
definitely
in these years than before, which could have caused.
But without conflict, there is no resolution. And he brought a lot of things to the light that should have been brought to the light, so that now I feel like we can
filter out better. Like I can see, oh yeah, so you're that guy. Okay,
yeah, I appreciate that.
I appreciate it too.
We can't just keep living like these problems don't exist.
Right.
Like, I felt like it was a good thing.
Right. But I think for Kanye, for what he wants to do, he wants to build things. Like, he wants to create things. And with us, in our government, we're too slow. This needs to pass here. We need to go to this house. It's going to take a week for them to look at this bill and do this. It's just too slow. And for him, for his mental sanity, he's not going to be able to slow down to do that. Like, if we were in another country where, like in Asia or something like that, where they move like this, like, oh, okay. Like,
let's do it.
Let's just do it. We're building. They're like, oh, we need to build some solar power stuff right here. Okay, it's done in a week. Like, done. Like, they're crazy quick with stuff like that. So I think Kanye will be more beneficial outside of the presidency. That's just my opinion. But
no, I agree with you. I'm just saying, do you think that it can happen now?
I don't know.
Because I just find it so ironic that this man was just so fucking crazy last year, and today he's the richest black man in our country.
Right.
After he was just in debt a couple of years ago. Like, nobody saw this coming. Except for Kim. Kim knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, she did.
I know she knew her man was going to... Like, first of all, everything she touches.
Right. There's been a little bit of controversy as well, too. So, basically, Bloomberg is a business outlet that said that Kanye's net worth is about $6.6 billion. They looked at his Yeezy brand, which Kanye owns 100% of, which is amazing. Shout
out to Kanye. I just bought my first pair of Yeezys last night.
Hey! I'm about to sell my two and get 2 more new ones. That's what I'm about to do. So, yeah, look that up at Facebook Marketplace for all my big shoe size bros.
Okay.
Yeah. But, I love it.
Cheaper, too. When I was looking for my Yeezys. Yeah.
Well, you got women's sizes. Y'all lucky. Like, man.
No, I'm in a 7.5, which is the first men's size.
Oh, yeah.
And that is that's 7.5.
Oh, I know.
It's one of the highest.
I know. You could that 7.5 can make. Oh yeah, that
7, that kid size is cheap.
Right. Yeah, it
That's
goes
7.5. I'm not getting an 8. First of all,
Right.
I'm walking around with that fucking bow on my foot.
Just take the soul out. Don't
That's
do that.
7.5.
Yeah, but I love the Yeezy brand. I love the Yeezy shoes.
Not me. Some
really?
of them.
Which one?
Some of them.
Which one did you get?
I got the
750?
750.
The
The one that just came out, the Ash Pearls.
Ash Pearls. Okay. I like them. I have a pair of 750s, which is my probably my favorite pair of shoes. You see me wearing them all the time. Then I got the 350s. Those are like the low cut jumps or whatever. And it's so funny because I really
like the
those,
850 ones. Those are my favorite ones.
The 850 ones. Are they the boots? Okay. I don't know.
The ones with the big sole.
Right. I really like the 350s a lot too. Cause Kanye was talking about this in an interview, and before he made that shoe, he was looking at Nike. Nike had a shoe out called the Roche, and back then I used to love wearing the Roche. They were like one of the most comfortable shoes. They were, very basic. Go with pretty much everything. They were like a running shoe. And he said that whenever he was in the airport, he's seen everybody wearing those shoes. It's just like kind of the thing, right? So he was like, I need to make a shoe better than that. And that's what he did. Kanye definitely inspired a lot of people. Like you could even go. I know Nike's kicking themselves in the
like
fucking
even this
ass
look
right now.
right here.
Yeah, because everybody's going for that look. Because Kanye knows what looks good. Obviously, like he knows what time it is, and everybody tries to copy his style or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot of brands are starting to make the dad shoe popular, trying to make it look like the Yeezy and stuff like that. If you guys don't know, Kanye was originally partnered with Nike, but Nike didn't want to give Kanye any royalties.
Control. Yeah, and they didn't want to let him do what he wanted to do either.
Yeah, no creative control, no royalties, and they wouldn't allow him to produce any more shoes after his shoes sold out. He was like the big thing was he wanted to come out with the Red Octobers, and when his first shoe sold out, he told Nike, said, okay, so when can we do the release date? They're like, oh, I don't know. They're like, what are you talking about? What is you doing right now?
It's one of my favorite brands. They really dropped the ball.
I know, they really
that.
did. They really dropped the ball with that because, for him, he's like, they only give royalties to the basketball players and stuff like that. And he was like, yo, I'm going 1-on-1 against myself, selling out arenas. What you talking about? But he was right. You know what I mean? He was right. So anyway, he did a deal with Adidas, and he's getting 11% royalties from that. He owns 100% of the Yeezy brand, and he's only using Adidas for distribution and manufacturing. So that's why he was able to jump to billionaire status so quickly. Now, before, Kanye claims that he's been a billionaire for like the past 2 or 3 years, but Forbes just recognized them last year, and Kanye's been like pretty much saying that Forbes is discriminated against him, don't want to give him that status and stuff like that because he's doing it such a weird way that they're not used to, right? So now Bloomberg is the one that reported that he's worth $6.6 billion. Forbes then comes out after that saying no, Kanye is not worth $6.6 billion. He's more worth $1.8 billion. And the reason why Forbes is saying that he's worth $1.8 billion, not 6.6, is because Bloomberg counted the banks already checked their projections for Kanye's Yeezy's deal with Gap. Gap, they're supposed to be releasing their clothes this summer with Kanye. And they already projected how much they're going to make from that. Mm-hmm. So they took in that account how much his Yeezy brand is going to be worth. So Forbes is like, we're not going to do that because not a single product has come out yet. We don't want to, guesstimate, and we don't know.
Right.
So it's basically, it's up to interpretation, honestly, of who you want to believe. You know what I mean? I get where Forbes is coming from. It's like he hasn't sold it yet, so we don't really know. But at the same time, it's
have
not
they done it before? Is the real question.
That's a great question.
Which I'm sure they have.
Right.
I'm sure they have, and that's why Bloomberg is probably like, "Shut the fuck up. We're doing the numbers the same way y'all been doing the numbers."
Right? Because it's not that they just talked to some guy. They literally went to the bank, and the bank projected what was supposed to come out of this this Gap Yeezy deal. So they're estimating a $3.5 to $4.7 billion net worth from the Yeezy alone.
Projections are so weird because I'm a business owner, and when I'm making my business plans and things like that, I'm just like, what the fuck where am I getting these numbers from?
Right, right. Yeah, like when you start getting in this kind of bag, like obviously you can't just go to your bank account and deposit $6.6 billion, right? Or withdraw $6.6 billion, right? So when you start getting this kind of level of money or wealth, wealth
This
is a
shit is
better
crazy,
word.
yeah. Because like I knew, like when I opened my brick and mortar, I knew I was gonna make more money.
Right.
I knew I could guess that I was gonna double my money.
Right.
But I had no idea how I was gonna trip it, flip it.
Hey.
But I'm sure somebody else could have guessed that. I don't even
Right.
know how the hell they coming up with these damn numbers. Like I'm still shocked. So Kanye is definitely gonna do it. Go Kanye.
Yeah, I don't doubt that Kanye doesn't get to the 6.6 billion. But
let's just definitely say it's definitely not 1.8. Is that what they're saying?
Forbes is saying that as of right now, he's at 1.8. Bloomberg is saying he's at 6.6. So it's just really up to your interpretation.
1.8, he was 1.8. He had that worth like last year. So
what he was? So Forbes just recognized him at 1.3 billion.
Oh, it was 1.3.
1.3 last year. And they said
so now you're telling me that my man Kanye only is Forbes. Go ahead.
So I mean, we already know. So as soon as Kanye and Gap released their, they announced that they're going to be collaborating. You also can tell these projections are real off of the shareholders and the stock price going up. Kanye made the Gap stock go through the roof. I know because I bought it. so I already know that's one way that you know that these projections are
because the money's there. We didn't put
Right.
the money into the market.
Right. And Kanye is one of those people, like, he's kind of like bulletproof. Like I said, like, he has said, done some crazy things, but whatever he does, he still is profitable when it comes to his products.
Definitely.
So that makes it a smart business move. So the rest of his assets, he has $122 million in cash and stocks. He has $110 million in his music. So that's another thing too, like how iconic Kanye is as a musician, as an artist. That's one of his
the industries,
lowest.
the streams of income.
Yeah,
wow.
Exactly. Like that's why you know these artists can't just survive off of the music because it's not that much that they get from that. They get more from the endorsements and the other assets that they build. But anyway, like I said, $110 million for a Kanye West to me is crazy, but that's high in the music game.
And you know, music has changed since they started streaming music,
Right.
and the CDs and stuff went out the window.
Right, that's true.
They lost a lot. Well, the artists lost a lot of money.
Right, and Kanye's been also in the talks trying to buy his masters. And we know what happens when artists start trying to get into their masters. So pray for Ye. I don't mean that in a way like to laugh, but like
No, I get it.
You know what I mean? Like
I hope he does.
he already felt like people were trying to kill him. Like so prayers out to him. And they also Bloomberg is also estimating the 1.7 billion. The rest of his money is in his private jets, his real estate. He has homes in California, Calabasas, Chicago, and of course his estate in Wyoming. And his rent. This is another thing too. So Kanye not only is just doing fashion, right? Like that's step 2. Step 3 is architecture, building houses. He's already trying to build hurricane-proof and earthquake-proof homes for people.
Designer.
Yeah, so he's already been testing it in the Bahamas and stuff like that. He already has 12,000 acres in Wyoming. There are 2 campuses that make up 12,000 acres, and he plans to making his own city there called Yeezy City. So, yo, I'm going to Yeezy City. I don't care. Like that's going to be lit.
Definitely.
That's going to be lit. And I like the fact what he's doing too, because with his company, he
How
also
many acres
gives
did you say?
12,000.
Jesus.
12,000 acres of land, and on that land, he has livestock. He has like lambs, sheep, and goats and stuff that do. Yeah, like so in the agriculture and stuff too. So Kanye has a lot of his assets diversified all over the place, like how it should be. And yeah, regardless, Kanye West is a billionaire in his net worth. What do you guys believe is 6.6 billion or 1.8 billion? Either way, to me, congratulations to Kanye West for making it to as far as he made it so far.
For the representation, shout out. That's what
Absolutely.
I'm good on
for
the
culture.
representation. Thank you.
For the culture, you know what I mean?
So inspiring. It just makes me I feel like I'm the billionaire. Like I could just I can feel that energy. I'm just like, thank you, Kanye.
It's what Jay-Z said.
If you can do it, I can do it.
Exactly. And what Jay-Z
You're not no
said.
better than me, Kanye. I know you're not. Like, I know you're not. Like, I know you're not.
Right. So that's that competitive spirit that you gotta have when you're getting into this. You know what I mean? But we also want to celebrate all these black billionaires and black wealthy people and stuff like that, because the more and more, like Jay-Z said it best. You know what I mean? What's better than one billionaire? Two. You know what I mean? Like keep multiplying so we can actually, create some generational wealth, create some opportunities and stuff like that for our people and stuff like that. So I like what Kanye's doing so far, because he's not only just trying to make products that's benefiting him, he's making cool stuff affordable for everybody. Now, I know some people are like, these cost too much. I know. But
Not
honestly...
really. I mean, if you can get them from the extra...
Right. He does not control how much the third party sells his shoes for. You know what I mean?
And it's supply and demand, because if they was $50, y'all wouldn't buy them.
Exactly. Let's be real. So, you know what I mean? Like, if that was the case, then Starberries would be out here popping. You know what I mean? Yo, my dad... Anyway, I don't get that.